remember an old manifestation teacher told me once, stop talking. And I remember thinking, wow, that was a little rude. And you're supposed to be spiritual and all that? That wasn't very spiritual. But later, what he said hit me like a spiritual awakening. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to High Vibe Energy Collective. And if you're new here, my name is Lorrie. I'm an intuitive, a millionaire abundance coach, and a spiritual energy teacher from a high priestess lineage. In this video, I want to break down why you should never, ever, ever talk too much. It's the worst possible thing you can do to kill your manifestation just by purely speaking too much and not staying silent. What hit me back then was I realized that every time I was speaking from the ego. I was trying to prove a point, or I was trying to make things make sense, or I was trying to prove that I was somebody and trying to relate my experiences. This ego, or I identity, that I thought I was not actually who I was at all. When I separated myself from my ego, this I identity, and I stopped speaking on behalf of this ego I create the space to become my infinite I, my spirit I. About now, you might be wondering, what's the difference between the ego I and the spirit I? And what was the spiritual awakening about? I realized we are all far greater than our ego I. Your soul and my soul is intertwined with the universe. You are abundant and you are powerful. Stick with me, and I will tell you how the silent code keys will unlock your connection to your spirit I, and how you'll be able to tell the difference between the two. So here's a story I learned about silence from my grandmother. As a small child, I adored my grandmother. Later in life, I found out she was from a priestess lineage. I followed her everywhere. In the garden, I would help her water, dig the weeds, and sometimes she even let me help her pick the harvest. I'm sure this is why I love gardening today. When she sewed her colorful quilts and potholders, I was right next to her, sewing some clothes for my dolls. Although back then, I didn't understand the seams inside concept. So anyway, if you sew, you know. I wanted to be just like her. One of the earliest messages she taught me was the power of words and silence. As we spent each day together, we would work in silence. She would say the occasional words to correct or teach or instruct, but generally there was no small talk, only intentional focus. One of the things we did do, though, was we talked to the plants, offering words of encouragement and thanking them to grow. As part of her daily practice, she would meditate every morning, and I would wait in her room for her to be done. Sometimes I would purposely make noise, like tapping my feet on her beautifully carved chest, which held all of her treasures, or I would sing or hum softly just to try to get her attention. I hoped this would make her get done more quickly. She didn't budge. She sat there in silence, with her eyes closed, with the incense wafting in the air in front of her. I often wondered if she was really sleeping in a sitting position. When she was finally done, she would tell me she did not like my lack of discipline. She said that if I couldn't be silent, I couldn't stay with her while she meditated. Quickly, I learned the power of silence. At the end of the video, I will share with you the most important thing my grandmother, the priestess of her village, taught me about the power of silence. Now I want to share with you the silent code keys that I learned from my teacher. These 5 powerful keys unlock the secrets of silence and how to increase your frequency and vibration. The first silent code key is silence is a new superpower. In this world of so much distraction and noise, silence really is a superpower. So why is silence so powerful? It's simple. When you are silent, all you have is space. So why do we meditate? For the same reason, to create space. When we become silent, we have the power of the pause, the space. And why is space required? There is a saying that says, when your cup is full, stop pouring. Silence creates the space to consume what you have in your cup and make space for more. Have you ever met someone who held quiet confidence? They were silent, but not unseen. They didn't say anything, but they held their space in the room. Their presence felt powerful and clear. Close your eyes and imagine this person. People are drawn to them like moths to a flame. They listen intently and say a few well thought out words. Imagine that you are this person. What did it feel like to be powerful, silent, and clear? In contrast, the worst thing that we could do is to keep talking, babbling like a brook, and spilling our guts. I get it. Sometimes there's so much going on in our monkey mind, nonstop thought, right? This thing after that thing. And sometimes all these nonstop thoughts turn into nonstop words. So then you have all this going on, but you're trying to manifest your goals and your dreams. Your goals and dreams, what you really want in life. But how can you gain clarity? You can't have clarity if there's too much chaos going on. It's like having your music playing, having the TV on, having a video going, and you are sitting there trying to focus on your goals and dreams. You are tuned in to so many inputs at the same time that you're going to get a lot of static and confusion. And that is why it is so important to clear space. By using the first silent code key, you create space that is required for manifestation. Back in the day when I worked in corporate finance, I trained staff. One of the biggest and most important things that I had to teach was to stop talking and listen. Let your client talk. Listen to what they're saying. It was so interesting. I had some trainees who could not stand the silence. They would start humming or tapping their pen or doing something to fill the space of the silence. Teaching them to be silent was a challenge, and I really wish I had the silent code keys back then. Like that example, when you have constant noise, you drown out the voice of the universe. When you are talking, you miss how the universe is speaking to you, trying to guide you to your manifestation, leading you toward your best life. You just can't hear the quiet whispers of the universe if you are nonstop yapping. You understand what I'm saying, right? It's very important for us to silence ourselves. When we do, we get to listen to the universe deeper. We get to listen to our inner selves better, and that can bring clarity to your truest desires. The second silence code key is less talk equals more vibration. Let that sink in. Less talk equals more vibration. What I'm saying here is energy over words. I know a lot of times in manifestation, we talk about how our thoughts are so powerful and our thoughts can create things. I actually say this too. But going deeper, what it actually means is that your thoughts create an emotion and your emotion creates the vibration. Think about this, going deep. What's the secret of manifestation? Is it simply words and thoughts, or is it vibration? So you know the answer. It's vibration all the time, right? It's your words and thoughts that create this emotion and this vibration. But what you're after is the vibration. Once you become a particular vibration, your reality reflects that. Your words are thoughts expressed. Sometimes, I'm sure you've heard this, when people say something they don't want or they didn't intend to say, they will say something like, cancel, cancel. to cancel the words or the vibration. Or you may have heard about the 17-second rule. I think Esther Hicks teaches this 17-second rule. So you might be asking right now, why do they talk about 17 seconds? So here's the reason. Because if you think about something or speak about something for 17 seconds or more, then your emotions will start kicking in, and then it will affect your vibration. And again, your vibration is the key. So prior to that 17 seconds, unless you really internalize it quickly, or it's part of a subconscious limiting belief, it will not stick. So let me show you an example of this. Imagine I say to you, be angry right now. Okay, stop. Were you angry? Well, not really, right? Because I didn't give you enough time to associate your anger with a thought that would make you angry. But if I say, think of something that makes you angry, and I'll give you a minute or so to think about it, eventually you're going to become really angry. It's because I've given you more than 17 seconds to assimilate that anger into emotion and your vibration. And this lower vibrating emotion will affect your vibration and ability to manifest. So you might be asking, what does this all mean? Well, it means that if you are nonstop talking, and this can cause random thinking by this nonstop talking, then actually it is this random speaking and talking that's creating chaos in your mind and energy field and causing your energy to dissipate. Thinking is fine, but focus those thoughts on the vibration that you're trying to hit. So the question you're probably now asking, so how do I do this? Well, it's very simple. Just think about the manifestation you want. It could be a dream car, it could be a dream house, it could be your dream job. So what you want to do, instead of nonstop talking about it, you just want to think about the dream and the goal that you want. Keep silent and don't share. In this way, you contain the energy to create the higher vibration. By not speaking and not sharing, you are not dissipating the energy. When you share your dreams with others, you prematurely give them the opportunity to just step all over your dreams. Imagine you plant a seed in the ground and you nurture it. You have faith that it's going to become the plant that you want. But others ridicule you. They say your dreams of growing this plant is ridiculous. You could never get the seed to grow into a plant. So you give up. They're probably right. You give up. You don't water it and you don't nurture it. And surely your seed and your plant and your dreams don't manifest. Wait until your plant and your dreams are standing tall, fully manifested, and let the results speak for themselves. You remain silent. The key is, during this time, you think and feel and imagine that you already have the thing that you are creating. Your seed is fully sprouted and grown into a strong plant. When you tap into that feeling and keep that feeling going, you keep amplifying it and increasing your vibration, and eventually the universe will bring you what you want. This is so much more powerful than talking, and chit-chat about what you're gonna do when you get there. So when you silence yourself, you actually create the space to create deep feelings and vibrations. So long story short, focus more on the feeling and the vibration. That's why I'm saying energy over words. The third silent code key is by keeping silent, you let go of neediness. This can also be called the art of detachment. A lot of times we talk so much about our desires. We can fall into the trap of needing things or creating the vibe of neediness. I really want this to happen. I really want this to happen. But remember, really wants never gets you the thing. It just reminds you that you don't have it, and so you repel it. I need my investment to go up to be financially abundant. I need my house to sell. You continuing to talk about it doesn't make it happen or come true any faster. So stop talking about it. You continuing to talk about it is creating this neediness that's actually repelling what you want. Silence helps us let go of neediness and allows space to let what we want come in. When you stop talking and let go of neediness, you allow space to let it in. This helps build trust, detach, and opens the door to more abundance. This can be also called the art of allowing. Allowing what you want gives it the space for it to come into fruition. Now moving on to the fourth silence code key, trusting the process. Basically, trusting and allowing the universe to work, similar to trusting that the seed will then become a plant. As we talked about before, when we're constantly expressing our wants, we're creating resistance. Like the kid in the back of the car, saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" Asking does not make you get there any faster. It just creates frustration and doubt. Without nonstop speaking or thinking, you just let go. You live in the moment. When we live in the moment, we become the witnesser or the observer. We are witnessing a moment. We're observing a moment. When we're enjoying being in the moment, we raise our vibration. They say it's not about the destination, it's enjoying the journey. And that's the secret. When you start living in the moment, you raise your senses. When you become more connected, your life becomes intertwined with the magical flow of the universe. It's very powerful when you allow the universe to work. You have trust in the universe. Think about your first 9 months when you came into this world. You didn't worry about things. I love it when Wayne Dyer talks about it. He says, you don't worry about whether your ear is going to be here or whether your ear is going to be here. No, you don't do anything. You don't think at all. You don't speak at all. You just allow the universe to work its magic. And this is the power of silence and faith and trust in the universe. Silence code key number 5. The power of the intentional spectrum. So you're probably asking, what does that mean? Basically, it means our ability to set intentions wisely. Once you start focusing on meaningful intentions instead of spreading them thinly, you realize that everything is an intention. Every word is an intention. Sometimes we say under our breath, "Oh, what an idiot. What am I thinking?" Now that was an intention. That was an affirmation. Or something like, "I really want to do it, but it's not that easy." Again, that was an intention and that was an affirmation. Every time you speak badly about people, all the small talk you do, every time you complain and moan, that was an affirmation. Sometimes we don't stop talking and we just go on and on and on and on. We sometimes are unconscious about what we're even expressing. How many of you have had that happen? Please put it in the comments below. The worst thing is sometimes you talk so much and suddenly you realize you said something you shouldn't have said. And then you think, oh no, why did I say that? And that's why intention before we speak is so important, because everything you speak is an affirmation, and your affirmations can manifest. We need to be silent, think of what we say, and set our intentions wisely. We allow ourselves to concentrate words on things that really matter to us, things that are positive affirmations, like, I can do anything. I am powerful. I am strong. I am achieving this. I am abundant. I am loved. Whatever those things are, you can channel your words into things that you actually want, things that actually mean something to you, and things that you want to bring into your life. So there you have it, the 5 silent code keys. And now going back to my grandma, here's the most important thing she taught me about silence. I remember her often doing this, meaning, shh, telling me to listen, reminding me if I could not be disciplined enough to stay silent, I couldn't stay with her. She has long since passed away and is on the other side of the veil, but I still remember this about her. But the beauty of it all is when I sit in silence, in meditation, she still comes to me. We commune often in silence, like we did when I was growing up, and speak without words telepathically. And the best lesson I ever learned about silence from her is that through silence, I can always be with her. And the most powerful thing I want to share with you about silence, I think this is a mic drop moment, is that silence will lead you to discovering your own spiritual gifts. So that was it. Comment below and let me know which of the silent code keys really resonated with you. What was your aha moment? I also want to share that each video that I publish contains my frequency and my intention to raise and elevate your vibration. This upgrade to your energetic system expands your energy field, raises your intuitive connection and abundance. A couple of years ago, when I channeled for a group of friends, they mentioned how at the end of the channeling, it was like the vibration and energy in the room was out of this world. It was like everybody's vibration and energy got raised. That is what I would like to do with these videos, to raise the energetic field. By subscribing to this channel, you connect with that energetic frequency, accept the intention, and help support and grow our channel. It's free to subscribe, so hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you do not miss the next frequency upgrade and the next video. I am sending you blessings to make this your best life. And remember, silence is golden.